Okay, we are live on YouTube, coming to you from Zoom and from wherever. It looks like Spain and California, and yeah, Spain and California today. So this is the OpenExO Developer Network call. We meet about every 4, 6, or 8 weeks. It depends on what's going on. And the goal of this meeting is to share with the external world work that's being done on platform APIs, blockchain APIs, and the platform itself, and to invite members of the OpenExO community and beyond to interact with the platform, with the blockchain, and learn the ways in which they can build their own third-party applications or impact the development of the platform if they have an idea for something that should be shared. This would be the best place to come and do it, and that way we can all work on it together. We broadcast this meeting on YouTube so that people can watch it later, which is really how most people consume things these days. It's on replay, it seems like. So this is the interactive portion. Anybody is welcome. All you have to do is reach out to me at Kent at OpenExO, and I will Kent at openexo.com, and I will add you to the meeting if you have interest in developing against our blockchain, the OpenExO or the EXO economy blockchain, or the OpenExO platform. Without further ado, let's get moving. And everybody, when you go, if you could just say your name and as much as you wish, and then what role you play on development, so that people who might be seeing this for the first time, encountering us for the first time, have an idea who you are, where you are, and what role you play in development for the OpenExO network or family of projects. Okay, so let's go first today with Javier Pena. Javier Pena, how are you today? And
I'm fine, thank you.
So tell us what you're up to.
Well, this is Javi Pena. I'm in charge of the customer support for the platform and IT operations. So I'm helping, I'm not a developer, but I'm helping the developers to manage and schedule the different improvement bugs and things we do in the platform. During the last days and weeks, as usual, I've been supporting ecosystem members, and the last thing I'm doing is organizing and cleaning and creating a roadmap, a backlog, a proper backlog for the things we have to do in the platform. And after that, I would like to find a way to share this with the community, trying to engage as more people as possible, to share with everyone what we can do, to try to compile their thoughts or the things they need to develop and the evolution of the platform. I think we need to move forward in the things the ecosystem members, the community need. And I think this could be a first step to share with them, to be transparent in the things we are working, and to get their ideas of what we can improve, or they can, the things they need to have a much more profitable, useful, whatever you need in the platform. And that's it. I cannot give updates in development because as I'm not a developer, my colleagues will update you.
Well, you're selling yourself short a little bit. One of the other roles that you play, Javi, is as the interface between development and product, yes, and in particular, how our customers use the product. And so if there's anybody on the front line, it's you, and you take it more than anybody. So when something needs to change, when things are going wrong, it's typically you that knows first. And so folks, you should make friends with Javi, because he's probably your fastest path to the engineering team to get things fixed when they're not working right, or improved if they're working but not working good enough. That's what we're looking for, and he is He's very good at listening too. So take him up on that. All right, let's jump over to Antonio, who is a developer and will have developer-y things to share with you.
Correct. Hi all, it's Antonio. I'm software developer at the front-end side. For instance, one of my things at my job is working with the public API that we release for all of you and make, for instance, web component that you can use anywhere. I'm going to show you a little example of what I'm working on. I'm going to share the screen. Okay, yes. Well, as I said, we already have several APIs documentation here that you can use it publicly. The last one that we are working on and I'm making a web component is the opportunity one. Well, as I told you, I'm using it for creating a web component with a pagination where you can see all the information of the cards. This component, it could be like a puzzle piece where you can set anywhere. For instance, I create a launch page here that we are still working on it because we are not fetching at all the data. But the idea is that the same that you're watching here with real data, we will be able to release it on the next Monday here, and all the people can see the offers, the opportunities that we are offering on the platform.
So not to put a finer point on it, this is actually, relative to OpenExO and the platform, historic, because historically, all opportunities have been behind the login wall. So if you're a member of the platform, you log in, you navigate to Marketplace, and you'll see these cards. But for the first time, we're not only putting them on our own website, but we're creating that as a widget so that any member of the community that might want to, for any reason, could put the opportunities for the OpenExO Marketplace on their site, thus syndicating that content more broadly. And I think this is fantastic. And the goal, of course, is very simple, and that is to both advertise and materialize advertise to the outside world the opportunities, and to materialize more opportunities into the network of certified coaches, consultants, trainers, etc. And because once somebody can see those, then the next step, if somebody was to want to post an opportunity into the marketplace, is just to sign up. And the bar for being able to post in the marketplace that's currently set is you must have, I can't remember if this is still true. Historically, you had to have at least EXO foundations to post in the marketplace. Is that still correct? Or can anybody?
Yeah, I mean, it's a way to engage external people to our page, saying just in a public window where they can see that, hey, we are offering things. We are offering money for doing things that you probably know how to do it, and that's it.
Yes,
another feature that we are working on, and it will be released also on the first days of the next week. It will be the feature, the improvement of sharing the opportunity externally and publicly to another people in the social networks. So we can send that offer to someone who is out of OpenExO community in order to sign up to our platform, or just applying externally to that offer.
Are these live opportunities that you're showing on the page?
Sorry?
Are these live opportunities that you're showing right now?
It's not live still.
Okay.
It will be in a few.
No. My question is, are those actual opportunities, or are those sample data?
No, that's not real data. That's
okay. Gotcha. Data. Sample data. I just wanted to be clear. But they are typical of the types of opportunities that flow through the marketplace. Okay,
just,
wonderful.
Just to be clear, and in the platform, you can click on those cards and you can go into the detail of the opportunity. If we set it publicly, you will only see the card. If you click on it, I don't know what we'll do. Probably we'll redirect to the public opportunity with the details. So that's
yeah. Got it.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you.
All right. Let's jump over to Suhar next.
Hello, guys. I'm Javier Suhar. I'm the backend and DevOps engineer here at OExO. I'm working on the core of the platform and on all the DevOps in order to deploy the platform through AWS on Amazon. We are using several technologies here, like Docker, like S3, and so on, in order to make the platform the most accessible possible and the most fast possible. We have several tools. We have developer offset in order to deploy all the things with only a button, and it takes seconds or a pair of minutes in order to put a new version on production. We are working too on the APIs, as Antonio has told. We are opening all the platform to the outside and possible to third parties to work with our database and so on. And more or less, let's see. Right now, the most important thing we are trying to achieve is just to open the whole platform to the people.
Got it. Yeah, and in particular, if anybody watching this, we are looking for a few more beta type participants for the creation of third-party applications that leverage the OpenExO platform APIs that Antonio showed you earlier. And there are so many reasons you might want to be able to do this. So just reach out to us, and probably you'll be put directly in contact with Suhar in order to do that. We've only got about 10 slots open because that's what we can handle right now. So just reach out to us if it's something, if you have an idea for a third-party app that you want to do that would leverage any of the APIs that we've opened so far. Okay, great. Thank you, Suhar. Anything in main platform development that I've got all the release notes that you guys gave me, and I'm still pending to do them. I promise I'll get them out in the actual quarter, right? Which is, this quarter. But I have them, and I will be pushing a set of release notes. I really should have done that before this call. But anyway, I didn't. So I'll have to get those out this week, which is today, in order for that to be done on time. And so please keep an eye on the OpenExO platform circles. And then, I think we might replicate those out to the OpenExO blog in the public and also to the EXO Economy blog. That way they'll be in various places that people can see publicly. And of course, we'll share them out through the Ambassador Network and all that. But we're doing quarterly release notes, but quite frequently we're doing releases. I don't know, sometimes it's every day, sometimes it's every week. But we're just bundling all the release notes on a quarterly basis so people can read them in one shot. Seems to be okay. If anybody's got a complaint about that, let us know. That's what we settled on for the moment. Nikki, you'd be next.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm working on the latest story of taking Exos to OExO, or the wrapped token being listed on Uniswap, downloading the MetaMask, all of those steps are being put into tutorials and infographics and ways for people to be able to utilize them a lot easier. So if you guys have any insight into that, I'm all ears. And what I've done is basically added a blog that refers back to, it kind of connects the behavior of doing engagement, like in the doubling challenge, to the announcement that Uniswap is coming. So now we're saying, okay, now we've been walking the talk and we've done a few of these steps. We've practiced a little bit. We're using wallets in exchange in the marketplace as an example. Now it's time to put that to work, and we're going to take that to the public realm, which also means we can start to convert that into other types of fiat. And so hopefully we can have that simplistic of a message kind of translate into behaviors that make it a little bit easier for all of us to do our jobs. And always open to your feedback and anything on that. So we've got the Academy under works. Exos Academy has some content now. We're about to post that publicly. We're doing a public landing page in the WordPress site as a simplistic step. And we're also practicing in parallel with a new program in the background for an actual education delivery system. So we've got those two things running in parallel. And hopefully, I am so anxious. I keep saying this week, but by next week, we should be able to show you something. And I'm excited about that.
Got it.
Anything
Awesome.
else? Go ahead. Any other feedback on the doubling challenge? We're doing some, review on that. We've got a couple of automated steps that we can do to get people to actually apply some of the behaviors on a day-to-day basis so that it's integrated into our experience on a month-to-month basis instead of some kind of a challenge that requires a deadline and some kind of prize at the end. So we actually just incentivize people to behave day-to-day instead of just during competition.
I should say to behave in ways that benefit the community, right?
Yeah.
not punitively to behave, right? Yes.
It's been a while since I've had to teach people, little ones to behave. So no, I'm not saying that in
I just sort of got this image of you with a shock wand. I was like, no, okay. No, but okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Nikki, on the economy side, one of the things I want to add in is we have had lots of people needing help with the migration from Exos or even CivX Qt into Exos Core. And the development team has been very gracious. And I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Najib Kihwan, who's been running sort of AMAs, right? Or ANAs, right? Ask Najib anything so that he can really help people over the line, because it has been a little harder than we probably anticipated it would be.
Yep.
But progress has been being made. And then another thing that happened that I want to acknowledge is that because we're working so rapidly on this bridging of Exos to OExos or Exos to an ERC20 token for tapping into the Ethereum network for the Exos holders, we've had a lot of wallet releases lately. It went from something like .12 to .21. It seemed like that. And this has left a lot of people with kind of sometimes broken upgrades. So I've personally dealt with a lot of these. I know the support teams have dealt with a lot of these and helping people through it, uninstalling, reinstalling, resyncing the blockchain and things like that. So I just want to say thanks to everybody for being patient while we're going through this rapid and a little bit disruptive dev cycle. Sometimes this happens, but I do know for a fact that the current version, which is 1.0.21, is by far the most stable and capable that we've ever released. And if you're not running 1.0.21, you really should, I would recommend, shut your wallet down, reset your computer just to make sure there's no weird things hanging around, download and then install 1.0.21, and then you will probably have very smooth sailing moving forward. Because in particular, for example, the upgrade button in 1.0.20 broke. So you click the upgrade button thinking you're going to get to .21 and then it wouldn't work. It would throw a big error. That's annoying. So that's why I'm recommending a manual upgrade path for anything prior to 1.0.21. And that's pretty much going to draw a nice line and things should be pretty clean moving forward. So sorry about that. Sometimes you do break things when you move a little too fast, but sometimes you have to move fast to get things done. So I just wanted to acknowledge that on the economy side. Nikki, did I miss anything or did anything else?
The only thing, and I thought you were leading up to this, is that there is a role open for that particular job, is to help assist people get from one place to another, in their cycle. And that role needs 3 more votes. So any of you that have the ability to get into Sway and go vote, please do.
Wait, let's show that. Hang on. Do you have it handy or do I need to load it up?
If you can load it, that would be better.
Okay, give me one moment, please, and I will do that because that is a thank you. So OpenExO. All right, so really quick, what's Nikki saying? We use a tool by one of our community members called Sway. We use it as a decision support tool, and it's where we push proposals through to make changes to, it's effectively a form of governance, right? Decision support is a form of governance, and we're using Sway as a governance tool for deciding what roles to fund to improve the operations of the EXO economy. What Nikki's talking about is a support role. And, as she has said, there are some people that like to do support and some people just don't. Right now, we're looking for people who really want to help people sort of onboard into the digital economy. And it's not just the EXO economy. When I say digital economy, I mean that quite literally. Oftentimes, Exos is the on-ramp to many people learning crypto for the first time.
Yeah.
And you cannot underscore how important that is, right, for a community like ours, who purports to help accelerate exponential technologies into society, to help transform the world for a better future, to help people use these tools to make the change they seek, the impact they want. So anyway, it's really, it sounds like, oh, a support role. No, but it's a really big deal. You're helping people onboard to the digital economy. And we've had, gosh, Nikki, how many come through who have never touched crypto before, and their first kiss in crypto was Exos, right? Yeah. So I've absolutely been thrilled to be a part of that for so many people. So this is Sway. It's at openexo.sway.io. If anyone wants to put the links anywhere, that would be great. And if you scroll down, let's find the one you're talking about, Nikki. Here, it's this top right one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Exos user support champion, new role for the economy. And then you'll notice it says 97%. So Nikki doesn't quite have enough votes yet in order for this proposal to pass. If the proposal passes, then it's effectively ratified by the community and will be funded by the Treasury. And then that person will receive their stipend in Exos for the work they do on behalf of the EXO economy. And this is how we're building out the team that's supporting the economy. And it's been pretty awesome. So if you want to read about it, Nikki's done a really good job. It looks like here of putting all the details in, how much the fees are on an annualized and quarterly basis. And oh, I love it. She's used the 4x4 structure from Strategic Coach. So you'll know exactly what makes you a hero in this role, and you'll know exactly what drives us crazy in this role. And again, thank you to the team at Sway, who it's so lightly branded you wouldn't even know, but sway.io, check them out. They donate this tool to our economy to support us as members of the economy itself. And we're very, very, we have a lot of gratitude to them for doing this for us. So check it out. I'm going to post the link in YouTube, and I'm going to post the link in the chat here, and maybe if somebody wants to go put it in the ambassador thing, that'd be great too.
Awesome. Yes. And this is another step in the way of becoming an emerging DAO, which is all about, learning blockchain, using blockchain, becoming a crypto-based environment, and taking the new economic system into its new realm. And so that's
Nikki,
really
you'll be proud of me. We had our first ever EXO Writers Club meeting yesterday. And my first proposal was an article probably going to be called A Beginner's Guide to DAOs and a Little History. So I've got 500 words, it looks like, pounded out there to try to hit the deadline they would like to put my first article on a new publication that's coming out next week for the OpenExO ecosystem.
So when can I proof it for you?
I will have it done. When I post the draft into Ghost, I will also send you the draft link so you can look at it.
Please. Okay? All right. Awesome.
All right. So yeah, that was my commitment, was to be an author on that thing as part of it. So
yeah,
to let somebody else build it. So, yeah.
And the
All
only
right.
last thing I had was just a comment on the public version of the API for the marketplace. I would love to know, Antonio, you had said that it's just the, what is it, the version that you see as the card itself that is visible to the public and everything else needs to be signed into. So I'm just wondering, do you have guidance so that when I'm writing my card, I get enough in there so that the public is incited to sign up further?
Very good point. I have a partial answer to that too, but Antonio, you go first.
Yeah, well, we thought that we might do a kind of a public HTML like we are already doing on the circle sharing. So we can access to the information publicly as an external user. So you can see all the detail of the offer. Probably just that's the first version. Once that is released, I'm open to any request to set buttons, to redirect to the sign up, or to contact to the person who offered that opportunity or whatever.
Okay, awesome. I look forward
And
to
then,
filling out many of those.
and then the other thing, Nikki, and we probably could use your input on this as well, is we recognize that not everybody just sort of naturally knows how to write a good opportunity.
Right.
So you'll get opportunities that are like, I would like you to work for me. And I'm like, that's not quite enough. So we are considering making more fields mandatory and providing a better breakdown of the descriptions. And it is opportunities and even proposals like the one that you've posted in Sway for this job description that I think should be leading the way in terms of what types of fields we might look at to make it so that we're helping people make better opportunities that attract more and more qualified applicants from the community. Because folks, the community now, gosh, let me look this up. And then Eric, we'll go over to you. I want to show one more slide here. I just realized I should show this because people might not know necessarily. I show this slide all the time, but it's the community sort of growth status. By the way, we just hit 8,000 community members this week. So, golf clap. And for anybody who still plays golf, right? So this number is even out of date right here. Looks like I need to update that. That was over 8,001 yesterday. But this is the rough numbers of where our community is now. Anybody have that up-to-date number? What is it? Is anybody on the platform right now?
It's 8,003.
Okay, so 8003. So there you go, Jillian. I did that for you. So 8,003 community members. We have 2,729 certified foundations holders. We have 585 certified consultants and 307 coaches. So presumably we could run hundreds of sprints in parallel all around the world with these coaches and staff those sprints with hundreds and hundreds of certified consultants. And of these consultants, I don't know how many of them are operating their own independent businesses, but they can help individuals and companies move toward becoming exponential organizations, better leveraging technology, scalability, all these things that you get when you are an OExO. And then we have 151 certified trainers. These are folks with almost without exception that are workshop trainers. So if you needed a workshop inside your company, these are the folks that would get brought in because they are trained and ready and experienced to do so. Of that subset of trainers, there are actually a small handful that are training trainers. And so we have even a subgroup of the trainers that train trainers to create more trainers. And those trainers that are being sent out regionally. So we've got a training team now in the Philippines, a training team growing in places like Togo and other places around the world. So it's pretty neat. It's an exponential growth model. Still, I I'd say it's still sort of toward the tail end of that flat part of an exponential growth curve, but that's not abnormal. And it's after this number hits more in the 10,000 range that we'll start to really see things kick. So we don't just want community members signing up for volume. We want people who want to be here and need to be here. But the idea is that we're getting very, very close to the numbers that mathematically really, really matter. So pretty neat. Eric?
Thanks, Kent. Yeah, exciting, right? Every time we hit a nice milestone like that, it's always good to celebrate, and we'll eventually get there for sure. So yeah, just, I'm sure with all of your help, as you all know, right, we're continuing to make some really good progress with bringing the Exos token to market. Lots happening kind of behind the scenes, right, with our partner Novum Insights from the UK, lots of you around the world, folks here in the States. So it's always a coordination effort. We are tracking a fairly significant tech milestone for next week, making sure that we kind of hit this as, we are looking to still stay the course, right? Keep the pace with all the work that everybody's been doing. From a documentation standpoint, recall that we have two big ones two plus a few other sort of small ones, right? We have a light paper, which is kind of an executive summary version of it. And we do have, of course, the tech overview, right? The business overview as well that we've been working on. It's updated. The business overview, of course, has been available at the EX Economy website for several weeks now. Thanks, Nikki and team, for getting that up there. And still need to make, ongoing edits to the docs, right? They're always just good works in progress. And we'll get some additional input from stakeholders that need to sort of add some content in there, especially on the business overview doc, from a decentralized finance, a DeFi standpoint, right? So we'll get that content in there shortly. In other news, Nikki mentioned the Exos Academy. So, myself and others are also interested in kind of making the learning curve a little bit shorter and faster for people, right? So your 18-year-old neighbor's college student will be able to do and feel the same level of competence with your 80-year-old grandmother, right? When it comes to the wallets, as we just talked about on this call, Exos Core, which we need to get everybody to eventually, et cetera. So trying to come up with some instructional design, instructional delivery, kind of focus steps, exercises, tutorials, literally hands-on step by step. So they will be absolutely bulletproof, right? So like I said, the 18-year-old and the 80-year-old will be able to do it and really have very, very few issues, if anything. So looking forward to working with Angelo and the crew with the Academy on that. On the core treasury side, we have, I think, a few proposals that need to be approved in Sway. And once they kind of graduated, then of course the Treasury kicks in, and there's a whole process we go through. Najib and team help us with data and getting them set up in there and funding their campaigns, right? So they can spend the Exos and pay people to do the work that's needed, right? So you can see here in Sway, Kent was showing this earlier, showing it now again. And really, this is open to anybody in the community, right, to add your proposals, right, because we need to see sort of like the utility use of the Exos token. So we do have a number of proposals that are currently in flight as well. And part of what we've also been asking the members that have been funded with these proposals and initiatives that are ongoing is a monthly check-in. So you'll see that not only in Discord, but on the platform, OpenExo.com as well. And we will be asking for that on an ongoing basis. The other thing we've been talking about in the Treasury is perhaps a quarterly show and tell, if you will, a little bit of a learning within the community so folks can come and go a little bit deeper than maybe just this little monthly summary, which is mostly from an accounting standpoint, right? Like really what has been the impact, right? Since you've been awarded all these Exos and people doing the work you've been doing, right? So everybody has a different story, and I think we can all kind of learn from one another. So look forward to that, hopefully in the coming weeks. And, we recognize that all funds may or may not be used. And so we're looking at some mechanisms to see how we can kind of get that back to the Treasury so we can give it to others who perhaps need it. And new members as well within the Treasury, trying to rotate them out, right? So we can kind of share the knowledge as well. So the core Treasury will probably bring in its first individual shortly, and there'll be some cross-training in there as well. And so definitely look for that, in the coming weeks as well. And other than that, just a few community notes as well. It's as much as we do with the work, it's always good to have a little fun. So we're trying to do some of that, of course, online. We had a couple of events this week on Clubhouse. Some of you may have joined the drop-in audio chat app. So I actually did 2 sessions this past Tuesday on an article that Salim and others had read that sort of we all thought that this was a nice little discussion point for one thing, but perhaps a good summary of where we kind of see things moving forward. So we did 2 events in Clubhouse on Tuesday, and there's another discussion also through the OpenExO Club in Clubhouse on massive transformative purpose, trust, and exponential individuals, and that's rotating every 2 weeks on a Wednesday. So there's a lot happening, of course, behind the scenes, and just wanted to again thank everybody for their efforts. Really good work.
And thank you, Eric. You're a man with the mission out there. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. All right, so that's a pretty broad update. Again, this is the OpenExO Developer Network call. In the last few minutes, I just want to ask anybody here, or let me just check and see if there's any activity over here. There are a couple of people watching. I'll ask if there are any questions from audience. All right, so if there are any questions from audience, I'm watching YouTube there. And then, is there anything here? Does anybody on this call right now have something that they can imagine could be improved, moved forward, made better, that we can process to a next step? Pretty comprehensive updates today, so it might be okay. Last call. Okay, and no questions thus far from the audience. So I think we're pretty much good to go for today. Thank you all for all your work and all the updates. And again, we're doing this on a periodic basis to begin to open up more, to share more, and to invite you to participate in the future direction of the platform, of the APIs, of the blockchain, of the projects that get funded by the token. It's yours. So take advantage. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.